So for the next couple of days, we're visiting Jay and Jen and their son Caleb. They're dear friends of ours that we met RVing several years ago, doing a service project in Arizona. And we've stayed pretty good friends for the last 4 or 5 years. Wherever we can, we meet up. We've met up at the Tampa show back in 2024. We all know that in North Carolina, there was a big hurricane, Hurricane Helene, that had incredible floods and all the things that happened here. And Jay and Jen have a home that is right almost on the other side of the dam. So we're going to be here for a couple of days. They're going to show us around and see some of the damage and kind of see the aftermath of what Helene did here in North Carolina, in Chimney Rock and Lake Lure. They actually lowered the water in the lake just to be able to clean out all the sediment and all the debris and everything that's in there. So we're going to take a look at that too. But something I've noticed being here is all the dump trucks leaving the lake and going out to the dump site. I don't know where the dump site is, but trucks keep coming by. I think Jay said it was like 300 trucks a day, something, or loads a day. It's something crazy, but it's a big project, but they're working on it, and hopefully they'll get their little town back soon. Luckily, these guys are pretty high up in the mountain. They were spared any of the flooding, but they were without power for a couple weeks, and streets, these roads here, they weren't able to even get out of here.
But as you got to the corner around here, you'll see that this entire, you couldn't even get through on foot. I walked down here and tried to get around the corner.
There were so many trees that
so
you
many
couldn't
trees
even walk
now,
over.
you couldn't even
get over them.
And if you look at like just the side of the road here, you'll see all the, there's still tons of downed trees back there. They've cleaned out as much as they can. We met the people that live over here, and
These people?
yeah, actually they live down in this area. The mayor lives down that way. Mayor Pro Tem, he's a retired Navy guy as well. But like from here down, all these poles were broke. All these trees down that are back there, they're kind of hidden behind. But like all this red dirt, that's all fresh. It's all fresh from
Sides.
See all those trees in the back there? It's when the leaves aren't on, you're just like, wow, and that's all my land right back that way.
Well, that's your property there.
Yeah, that property comes down here.
Yeah. So, but yeah, you couldn't get through here at all. They just brought bulldozers down and bulldozed everything out. So
wait, the sinkhole was...
the sinkhole was right here. All this
New pavement.
yeah, pavement. We had probably a 40-foot wide hole, maybe 15-foot deep. It was here. All this was caved in. And what was happening is that the lake was so overflowed and they were getting out as much as they could that it started to come around. So it happened on both sides. But they were worried the dam was going to fall. And so we were getting warnings for like 24 hours, like evacuate, but this dam was built, I think, in 1925. And it was put into the bedrock and it didn't move. The engineers came out and said, dam survived and everything was good. So they were able to fix it,
That is crazy.
How far the water was ejecting out of here, it was landing against that rock wall there and just flowing down this way. And so normally you can't see all these rocks. This is covered. There's a good flow of water coming out of here. But because they're pulling all the sediment out, the dam, the lake is drawn down so low, and so while they're fixing that, that's a water treatment plant that was destroyed. The facility down here was destroyed, and so they had to fix
Is that
all
the sewer pipe that you were talking about?
That is I believe that's an ejection port that they have to get a lot of water out of the lake quickly. The sewer treatment facility is just go right down that road, maybe a quarter mile. It's right over there.
So that video you sent me, that's where this water was coming out.
Exactly. And so like where these tractors are operating, normally that's underwater. You could see the kind of like the bulkhead over there. Or you can see the water line on the side where the bust is. That's where the water level normally is.
And how long was this open?
They had this like open full for days before the storm, and then and then it was on. They were in river control, so days after the storm. So anything downriver was really subject to like a lot of damage down there. Boats went through here, everything. Just
Well, I saw some videos where the boats were backed up to the.
Yeah, there was boats that were getting pulled under while we were standing there. Brand new boats and everything, pontoon boats, whatnot. This bridge, this dam was built a long time ago.
And this was built in 23,
25, I think.
25, 1925,
yeah.
not 2025.
Yeah. So you can kind of get an idea. Normally the water level is maybe a foot or two below a lot of those boathouses over there. And so for the safety of the lake, they draw down the lake and they're removing silt and debris that's underneath there. This is all Army Corps of Engineers doing this. There was a marina over there that was just destroyed. So all the boats from that were thrown up, they were just thrown up on the banks or they were sucked over to the dam there. But normally this is, we're July 2025 right now. There'd be people out here water skiing and fishing, and you'd see a bunch of wildlife out here. You don't see any of that right now. It's all still recovering. And I don't think the lake's going to be available to be on till 2026.
So 2026 is when they'll open it up again.
Yeah. So.
And you said you haven't seen a lot of fish and wildlife.
No. I mean, look, you don't see any birds or anything around, or the water still has a lot of, I think, pollutants in it that are kind of not bringing the wildlife back. We've seen some birds here and there, but normally there's a ton. Normally there's a bunch of birds standing on that boom right there and kind of hanging out.
So are they like testing the water to make sure
they do? Yeah.
Because you couldn't swim in it, obviously.
No, I don't think it's safe to swim in right now. The levels have dropped, but I think there's a lot of fuel that got into the water, and
I can only imagine fuel and oil from the boats and everything else.
If you look on Google Earth, you'll see that the water looks like peanut butter from the Google Earth photos. It just had now start kind of coming back, but normally it's a bluish, dark bluish greenish color. So this is still not its normal color. But the Google Earth photos show you what it looked like for 4 months afterwards, and that was all the silt and suspension and the pollution that was in there. So it's a huge undertaking that they're trying to get. Normally we'd have ducks, geese,
I know, and I think that's a whole circle thing of why we're not doing it.
Uh-oh,
Here comes the mailman. That was one of the places I thought about us going to eat because.
So we're going to go over by the fire department here, where one of the debris fields. This was one of 3 that they worked in the area. The debris fields were easily 100 feet tall, 1,000 feet long. Just trees and stuff that was being pulled out of the lake, and then they would run a shredder chipping operation. So they're still doing some operations here.
But this used to be golf course.
This was a golf course, and it turned into a green space. So everywhere that you see, the grass torn up, literally these are the last few scoops that they're pulling out. I've got photos of what it looked like when it was in full operation, and I'm telling you, the debris fields were so high you could only see the tops of the trees.
Yeah.
Because of stuff that was coming.
So
in.
they were dumping everything here, like you see a lot of the trees and stuff like that over there.
So there's some over there, and then on this side they have a wood chipper, and it turns all that into whatever it is. I don't think it's usable mulch because of the pollution, and so that truck right there, they've been running those trucks 7 days a week, 12 hours a day for the past 9 months, doing mulch and getting silt out of the lake, and we'll see that in a little bit here. But full
These
operation.
trucks, they're just come in, go out, come in, go out.
Yep. A lot of them are up here from Florida. You see a lot of out-of-state plates that come in.
What will they do with this property then, do they say?
Hopefully they'll just put it back to what it was. It was a golf course, and then they converted it into a green space, basically a park, The golf course stopped operating, and so it was a park. I've taken my Boy Scouts out here and done orienteering, and it's a nice walking path and all that. So hopefully we'll get it back after this. I don't know what the environmental impact is, from all this.
Yeah.
But,
That hill was one of Caleb's favorite hills to go sledding on in the wintertime when we get snow.
Oh, here?
Yeah.
Come up here. They're going to probably all have to be recertified as structurally sound.
Yeah.
They changed the laws a few years back too, where in the beginning when they started building on the lake, houses were allowed to hang out over the water.
It's called Snake Island because there's a story that it was infested with snakes at one point, and there was a call put out by I'm not sure if it was the town organizers or what. It said, hey, we need someone to come in and remove all the snakes, and they had a bunch of people come in and try their luck, and just didn't have any luck. Some farmer, I guess, came and said, I'll do it for, I think it was $10,000. This is back in 1925, so that's a good amount of money. And you have to double check the facts on this because they tell this tour on the tour of the lake. It's been a while since I've been on that. But he dropped off some pigs on here, and what do pigs eat? They eat snakes. So he dropped off like 4 pigs, and you came back on, and then there's like 300 pigs and no snakes.
They got rid of the snakes.
So they got rid of the snakes. This guy's got all these pigs he's got to get off the island, and then so what did he end up doing? Opening up a barbecue shop. So that's kind of the story that's told, right? So it's called Snake Island, Pig Island, and there's another island name that they have. I forget what it is.
What the real name is.
So all the tops of these trees that are gone. I mean, everything was just snapped off because of the wind shear that was just happening here was incredible. Yeah,
Fence
all
and
their
wall.
their walls been compromised.
So are people coming back though, like owners and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's so many people in town working. You don't know who's living here, who's working here.
Okay.
Anywhere you go, you pass 30 dump trucks carrying stuff. So
I can kind of tell, like when I go grocery shopping at Ingles, that there's not as many of the locals that are normally grocery shopping here back yet. And
normally there's water underneath here because I've went kayaking. Jen's dropped me off here before, and I've went kayaking.
no water there now.
There's no water. You can see the restaurant. You can normally pull your boats up there. You'll have lunch. I have to.
Water down quite a bit as they drain it and clean it.
That pipe is over there, and all the boat back here. This is Tryon Bay, a little jewel of Lake Lure. But we would have the scouts do their swim test here, and they would have to swim around the bay, and that would be their 1 mile swim. And so we would go out with kayaks. The scouts would jump off. It's just around where that white boathouse is, and swim around, and we'd float out there for hours and hours. And it was just a nice little quiet area. And it's all that. I've never seen it this slow.
You hear the guy's music.
Oh yeah.
When he passed away, he didn't have any family members, so he left it to the troop. And so the
So
scout
you got the
boat
whole
house,
house, the boathouse, everything.
boathouse, and the house. So the boys, there's a space out there. The boys will set up their tents and they'll camp there. And then the adults and the older boys, once they get privilege, can sleep inside the house with the AC. So it's pretty cool. But most of the boys enjoy just being able to sleep outside.
So that's the little boathouse over there, right?
Yep.
That little
Yep,
one.
the little white one.
And the water's normally way up here.
Now that was completely washed away. There was a marina here, and
Wrapped all the way around.
all the way around. You can see parts of it still there, but all those boats and everything were pushed over to the other side there. They're still and they just finished putting this in like 2 years ago, brand new.
The gazebo over there, we'll walk over that direction. The gazebo over there is where a lot of weddings are held.
So was it a public
That have
marina?
Weddings already scheduled
Yeah,
for this
it's a
year,
little town
and so
marina.
we're finding locations for the weddings.
Yeah. So this is like our go-to park. Normally there's a soccer field out here, and there's pickleball, and the town center's over there. And
Basketball court.
this is where you take the tour from the marina. There's like a little tour that you have. And they just got this back opened up like 2 months ago. But you could see, everything that's out here. There's still loading debris out.
They're kind of bringing everything from this side of the lake up to here, and then sorting through it from silt and debris, structural, natural, and sorting it out here, and then sending it out in trucks from here. This is where
This is the boat ramp. Normally there's a line of boats coming in and out of there. But, normally, that's normally 15 feet underwater or more. And you can see the boat ramp.
That's all a marina.
Yeah.
But it's all been drained down because they're taking care of the sediment and all the junk in the lake and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
you can see just everything kind of, the silt, the amount of earth that moved in that amount of time is just incredible. So we'll get a better view of it over here.
Yeah.
So they've redone all this. This was completely underwater.
There was all these stone pavers here for people that had worked for the town, that had donated for the park to get the park open, and all of these stone pavers are replaced. But you'll see some of them here, like in memory of some of the old ones that they were able to clean up and save.
There's a wider area.
So what river comes into Lake Lure?
That's the Rocky.
The Broad River.
Yeah, the Rocky Broad, right?
I don't know if it's Rocky Broad or just Broad.
Yeah.
Comes in here, and this was all Lake Lure was.
Yeah.
Well, is.
It's still they'll get it back, but you can just see like how much silt and stuff is on there. Boats would come. You could drive close to the shore in there. It was it was undercut, so that way you could
Yeah, it was very deep.
pull up
here.
and dock over here and things. But if you look how close the bottom is to the tops of the boathouses, there's no way you get those up there. So they're having to dig all that stuff out.
It's the original Lake Lure Bridge, and when they built the new bridge, they turned that into a huge walking garden.
That is so cool.
It was beautiful.
Well, it's not going to.
If you saw that area up there, there's somebody built one and donated it to the town, and they've temporarily placed it up over by the fire department. But people are still bringing their dogs' collars and attaching them
Is
to
that why
the
they called it
bridge.
the Rainbow Bridge?
Yeah, and everything here was decorated for dogs. They even had a quote-unquote dog library, and they had little sticks up on like a little shelf where dogs could take their sticks. It was cute. But you can see, if you stand over there, you can see where the bridge is just gone.
Jay, thank you so much for being our tour guide.
Oh, no worries.